Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am Felrus. Thank you for joining me to play some Raid Shadow Legends today. Guys, the time is come. The time is here. The almighty Chimera has been set loose, guys, and I have spent all morning testing different kinds of teams that could be used in the Chimera. So, I tested a couple different types of teams. I have a DP DPS team, just like full DPS. I have poison comps. I have like teams to try to deal with the trials. But they all include Elva Autumnborn because she has a block debuff. She is my only champion with a block debuffs. So they all include Elva Autumnborn. Plus she carries a revive and she is GOAT in this clan boss. I would never consider running a team without Elva Autumnborn. So if you have her or if you have a Sifi, definitely use them. Excuse me. Now, the most trials I was able to complete is 10, and I'll have footage from some of my teams here running in the background while I am talking here. So the most trials I was ever able to complete was 10, and that was on normal mode. So in my clan has now unlocked up to hard mode. We have completed easy and we have completed normal. So we are now on hard mode, right? And hard mode is significantly harder than normal. So there is a huge difficulty increase per each one. But on normal, I was hitting the turn limit with every team. And the best team I found included some sort of enemy max HP damage. The best teams included some enemy max HP damage. So the first team I tested here was Elva, Noct, Holzring, Thor, Calamitous. And it was okay, right? It did, as you can see, 21.77 million damage. Didn't reach the, it did not reach the turn limit. It's okay. This is normal. It's not great. All right, so I didn't keep that one. And I went instead with this team here, which got to the turn limit with 58.95 million damage, and I believe I did keep this key, which I shouldn't have, but I believe I did. As you can see, Calamitous doing the bulk of the damage, even over Thor, which is quite interesting, probably because of the Brimstone, right? So then Heraclides, who is very good for this boss, by the way, doing 9 million there. And then, of course, I had Padraig, and now I had to use my Padraig in a protection set so that he would be the dual target, and so that Elva wouldn't get completely wiped. So, protection Padraig here, running at about 271 speed with this team. And I believe I kept this result, although I shouldn't have because I had better runs. So, basically all the runs, though, were 3 damage dealers and 2 supports, right? And then, of course, as you will see, I actually tweaked that so that my damage dealers and supports would be similar, right? Calamitous is a great support as well, right? Okay, so then I swapped out Thor for Bod L. And as you can see, Bod L is really keeping the team alive here. All of Calamitous' healing is on himself. Again, he's doing the most damage. But Bod L is really keeping us alive, even more than Elva. So all my teams from this point on had Bod L. And now I don't have a screenshot of this. I forgot to take one. But I swapped out Heraclides for Geomancer, and that really, really shot up the damage. So Geomancer for this boss fight is incredibly good. So that's what I did then. And of course, I'll have footage for that, on the back of this video. So then I did something like this, and this was on hard mode. We did not reach the turn limit again. 30 million damage with Bod L, again, doing the most healing there, and Heraclides, because I thought that he could complete the trials. And now, that is really something that we have to consider with this boss. How much damage can we sacrifice? By the way, all of these were 1 keys of the difficulty. How much damage can we sacrifice in order to get the trials done? Because the trials give you more resources, gives you stronger relics, gives you stronger arena teams, gives you stronger Hydra teams, gives you stronger Chimera teams. All of that stuff needs to be taken into consideration with this boss. So, my position as of right now, and this may change, my position as of right now is if you're getting your 1 key, you can sacrifice damage to get the trials done. Particularly if your clan clears that level of Chimera. If you're getting your 1 key, get your 1 key, then focus on trials, right? Because in the Chimera, you get these star stones, right? And that allows you to both upgrade and swap relics, right? So that's really cool. Also, hitting higher difficulties and completing trials gives you more clash points. So that's also something you want to consider. Basically, complete the trials if you want a more advanced experience, right? And they are hard to complete, especially since I am running 3 damage dealers. That gives me less room for support, right? Padre, everyone here except Heraclides has some form of healing, right? So we are really focusing on survivability. And then, of course, Bot giving us poison as well for some DPS, right? So we are really focusing on survivability with these teams. So that is the most important point, by the way, is make sure your damage dealer, make sure your reviver does not get targeted by the duel, or else he or she will absolutely be wiped, right? Other than that, there's not really much else to it. You got some form of enemy max HP damage is really helpful. So Newt, Marius, Geomancer, right? The poisons, it's very helpful and potentially better than straight up damage. Actually, I found that the teams where I was using straight up damage, like my Holzring team, did not do as well as damage with like Geomancer and Bot which relied on Calamitous, but he has Brimstone, and I guarantee that the majority of his damage is coming from that Brimstone, right? The other reason Bot is really good is because he increases your damage when the Chimera is under poison. He has this passive here, Prey Upon, that allies inflict 20% more damage against targets under poison. So he's really good on a multitude of levels because he's keeping your team alive, right? With his A1, it can scale off of War Master 2. So his A1 has a heal, his A2 has a heal, and with damage, and his passive has a 20% damage boost against targets under poison. So Bot for this boss is really good. He also carries a full cleanse, and that's another thing. Another reason why he has really made landfall with these teams, right? I carry 3 cleansers. I carry Elva, I carry Podrick, I carry Bot right? Podrick and Bot are enabling a bunch of damage, right? They're all keeping me alive. They're all cleansing my debuffs, right? So I am only ever under debuffs really against the Viper. And that's just because the Viper is the hardest form. The Ram is annoying, but I think the Viper is the hardest form. So, how should you build your clan boss team? Well, this is actually a lot of free champions, right? Get one good Brimstone champion, one good Brimstone damage dealer, more specifically. Calamitous is a great one, right? I also have Brimstone on Bot so, some of that damage is coming from his Brimstone as well. But it's only 1 star. So then get your cleansers, get your healers, right? Get your damage dealer, and then someone to complete your trials, whichever trials you're going for. So Heraclides for me, for the fear, right? Or you could do a deacon because he's got the leech, right? And I think the trials are going to change each rotation. I'm not sure. But yeah, again, the most I was ever able to complete was 10 of the trials, and that was that. With Geomancer on the team, not as many trials going to be completed. It's for more damage, right? So, something to take into consideration is, once again, how much you are willing to lose, how much damage you are willing to lose in order to complete the trials. And I think the trials give pretty good rewards, so I think it's worth losing a little bit of damage, right? So let's talk about why some of these champions, other than Bot are good, right? Elva here bringing the block buffs, right? She's in a 6-piece protection set. Don't have the gear to make a 9-piece, unfortunately. But we're hoping for that from the next Hydra Clash chest that I get, right? We're hoping for some Sylvan accessories. I'm missing 2 accessories to get her into the 9-piece protection. But she will be in the 9-piece protection, and then my damage will really go up, right? Podrick here, he's got the cleanse, he's got the ally attack, he's got the continuous heal, right? Elva also carrying a revive, which is really good with Heraclides because he ramps when he's revived. He was almost hitting for 200k, and he doesn't have the best stats in the world, so he is very good. So Elva, of course, with the revive, with the cleanse, with the block debuffs, the increased speed, all of that fun stuff. She, of course, is a phenomenal healer as well. And then Geomancer, right? Again, I don't have a picture of his team, but I've got all the footage for you guys. Geomancer is a wonderful champion for the Chimera because he has the burn, of course, and then the reflect damage, and then the enemy max HP passive, but he also has the creeping petrify, which removes buffs, and that's particularly good against the Viper, right? Particularly good against the Viper. We do bring up block buffs with Calamitous, which I think is really valuable. And of course, I'm going to be doing more videos on the Chimera just as the teams progress and whatever. But I think this is what I'm really trying. I'm going to keep testing teams and everything, but I think that this is what is going to be the case because now Bod L, Calamitous, Grand Oak, and Elva are pretty much indispensable. I don't think I can replace them. But I need another DPS, right? So whether it's Geomancer, Heraclides, whoever it is, Wukong possibly. Wukong could be good in place of Geomancer, which is actually something worth trying here. Wukong in place of Geomancer, because he does also have the buff seal, and then he has the ignore defense. But I'm not entirely sure that will replace Geomancer, just because Geomancer has that enemy max HP. And I found that I was getting a lot more damage if I had something that scales off of enemy max HP. So, guys, that is my initial thoughts on Chimera. It is far more fun than I thought it would be, which is great. I'm going to keep meddling with these teams here, try different things. We're going to try to see how much damage I can get on hard mode, right? But those are my initial thoughts. I actually do think it was really fun. I know I made a rather scathing video in the beginning, but actually after trying it, I do not think it is that bad. I have completely changed my opinion. I think it's actually a really fun challenge, and I think it's going to be really cool. So, that being said, thank you for watching the video. I have been Felris, and I'm going to see you on live stream tonight. Also, as an afterthought, please join my Discord and consider supporting me on Patreon. That really helps out the channel a lot. Please give a like and a subscribe if you like the video. And I will see you tonight at 7 for a live stream.